If you say
Yes. Yes. To the internet, you say. We'll both say. So say we all, in fact.
so, say we all. Yeah, I was gonna get there. I was just about to say that. Hi, everybody.
Hello. Hello, hello.
How are you all today?
Yeah. Not bad. Things and bobs, things and bobs. It's been a day.
How is it now?
Exactly.
Yes. Welcome back, guys. We're doing more viewers' choice as we do. We've done a bunch of the other series of shows. TNG, TOS, Voyager, Deep Space Nine.
So next in the queue was
Discovery.
Star Trek. The one that brought back and saved Star Trek. Although otherwise we could have done the JJ films. Technically that would have been the next one.
Shit. All right.
Neither thought that. Next time on 2025, JJ, because we forgot about that. But in fairness, right? Have they left a huge cultural touchstone in society? Not as much as you'd think. So I feel like we're forgiven for forgetting to forget they exist about forgetted.
Those are all words that were said in an order that individually makes sense.
Put them together and...
What do you got?
With Hall of Light, I'm set up
Who
with...
the hell knows? Now, as we've done... So we have looked at the Discovery cast a long time ago. That was when it was a good idea. Now we've done this as a formula. We've done each show for characters and ships. Cool. And we're always improving how we do this, the way we do it, the discussion. We love that stuff. So in this version of this, we actually want to ensure that we respect, as we did with DS9, because Discovery is a show with character change, that there are variants to each character, a la the Season 1 Burnham, or the Mirror Burnham, or the Season 5 Burnham, or the Season 3 Burnham, a la, even Young Burnham in theory, I guess, for the flashback. So you got Captain Burnham, you got Commander Burnham, you got Renegade Burnham. So there is variations where you can't really subdivide the character because there is such a growth. Now, a lot of that was reactionary to fandom and just success rate versus natural organic growth. Some characters like Book don't really change enough, I think, to need early and late. It's the same guy living in a different situation, but other characters, they do change quite a lot. So we do encourage being specific, and if you're not specific, we'll assume it's the first one that is shown, and then we'll go from there. So if you just say Burnham, that'll be Season 1 Burnham. If some person says Burnham, it'll be Season 2 or 3 Burnham, whatever. So just keep that in mind. Or be specific if you want to jump straight to Season 5 Burnham, or Mirror Lorca, or whatever.
Or Captain Burnham.
Exactly. Or Admiral Burnham. Actually, she played differently.
Not wrong.
Right? And I want to give all credit because each one will be
likes
slightly
that.
different. So yeah, I'm going to start sharing, see you in a minute, and put in your suggestions. Because there is a, when you think about it like that, there's a broad slew of where they fit in the line. So I'll see you in a minute.
Slews. Broad slews. Anyway, welcome back, guys. Thank you for joining us. Make sure that you hit the like button. We have 18 people watching and 7 likes. Let's get those likes up to 20 if we can. So hit the like button. And by all means, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and hit the bell notification icon to all so you don't miss any content. And consider joining the channel as well. There is a join button down there on YouTube. You can click and be part of every video. Showing the supporters of the channel at the end of the videos. Or you can head over to Patreon/Trekyards, which is another way to help us in that regard. So if you can, please do. We really appreciate it. It means a lot. And without you, there is no us. So anyway, hope you're all having a great day so far. Hope you had a good weekend. And we're here to talk about Discovery today. So we'll see what kind of viewership we get. We'll see. 23 people, 8 likes, still no extra likes. Oh, it's up to 9 now. Hit the like button, guys. Also, there are links down below to the Teespring and the TeePublic store where you can get yourself some cool Trekyards merch. We like designing the merch and having you guys wear it and see it, and seeing it out in public is great. So yeah, consider clicking the link and checking out some TeePublic and Teespring stuff. Teespring and TeePublic stuff. Probably good. Actually, with TeePublic, you could probably get the stuff delivered before Christmas still. You don't have to just look at the Trekyard stuff. you can use the link and head on over and then check out other franchises you like, because there's lots of really cool shirts on TeePublic. So check out the links down below. That's just the way it is. Go discover those links. It can be a sense of discovery for you. See what I did there? See what I did there? Anywho's, welcome back, guys. We appreciate you guys, and hopefully we'll have a good discussion today, talking about some Discovery characters, and have a good time. So be a part. Super chat in. That means a lot. Helps us out immensely. And this is your choice. You guys get to determine where we go, who we look at, and you can even bump people up or down on the ranking as you see fit. So there you go. Sam is taking forever to share today. And that's okay. Because it gives me more time to spend and hang out with you guys. Because you guys are awesome. Discovery characters are still appearing in this Academy show. Yes, that's true. Doesn't mean that they weren't in Discovery, so we can still talk about them, Dan. I only ever saw seasons 1 and 2. Oh, well, then you missed some of the better stuff near the end, but that's fair. I would encourage you to watch it all so you can be informed on it. All right. Correct. Area 51. Vance. S tier. You can all go home now. Okay.
Oh, can we? Oh. I mean,
Mark Lawrence, though.
I'd like to discuss them with you more than just stopping. But, I mean, hey, if you guys... You know,
Well, they can dictate, man. It's the
they
viewer's
can.
choice.
They can.
Mark Lawrence, $5. Sahil. In the short time we had him, we loved him. S for sure.
And to know him is to love him.
And to know him is to create a hashtag and save his character's life.
Yep. I mean, we had no part practically, but boy, was it satisfying. The feeling that we made a conscious effort the whole time of saying a thing, and it did come back.
I wonder if they were just like, yeah, we're not going to worry about this character, and then they saw the hashtags, and they're like, poor Sahil.
I think they shot a few months before that. Yeah.
Well, I don't like that. No, because it was at the end of the one season, and then he came back the following season, so they had months to see the
No,
hashtag.
he was at the end of the first. He was end of that season. Yeah, he met Burnham at the office. It was because that's just before they got on the uniforms on the bridge. So it was one of the scenes of that season.
Was it really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, which is why it was satisfying, because we were saying, but it must have been like Dave Blass with the carpet, like the fact they joked about the carpet on Enterprise D. We all complain about the carpet on the Titan, but they made the joke, so it's like they must have seen Sahil, you know, like I said, and it's like, well, we did wait for it and see.
Should have been in it more.
Yeah, I mean, shocking he didn't come back for the absolute nothing of a role, the heart and soul he added to it.
Yes.
Like the absolute heart and soul. Why the hell didn't you bring him back? At least, I mean, I think we joked in the last episode, like bring him back to show the first go we ever met in Starfleet, and then how far they've come in a couple of years would have been a really meaningful something or other. But I'll let you talk about why I'd start a new poll.
All right. Yeah, this was the man that had us create a hashtag Justice for Sahil, because we were convinced they were going to forget about him. They didn't. He was waiting there at this starbase, just waiting for somebody from the Federation to show up. And sure enough, they did. And he was very professional. He wasn't walking around naked. You know, I mean, I probably would if I was waiting for months and years on end. You'd come at a bad time, and I'd just be like, hey, what's up? Can you give me a minute? I gotta get ready. But no, he's very professional, this guy. Welcomes them. And I'd have to go back and rewatch it because it was so long ago that I saw this. But he didn't have the biggest role. And then, yes, we see him again at the end. He's not on the starbase. He's not like out in the middle of nowhere. They brought him back to Starfleet headquarters, and it was great to see him in an actual uniform. And yeah, we were happy to see his return because he seemed like a very nice guy. And I don't know about S tier. We'll see how that goes, but I want to hear what Sam has to say about it when he's done his poll, and then we will talk about it. Yes, by all means, super chat in, guys. Any characters you want to take a look at or have us discuss, because you guys always throw us curveballs, which we don't necessarily expect, and it's always fun to talk about specific characters that we wouldn't have thought of ourselves. So,
like, I do remember, because I did look briefly at the list, Sahil did not show up in the other ranking, because we had to, that was a prepped thing, and it just no one thought of him, so lovely to include him. Alright, so there's a new poll in the segment where a poll is, so let us know, Stuart, what it says. Then you must vote.
Vote on the poll after you hit like. Overall, who are the best Disco characters? Season 1, Lorca's crew, War Vibes, Discovery crew, seasons 2 through 5, the villains, or the 32nd century characters?
Yeah, because there's a sort of broad church of people. Sorry, I wasn't listening why you did the poll, but hopefully says some nice things about him.
I did, yes.
Yeah, I think he's definitely a very good character in terms of he represented everything we hoped they were going to do when they'd said the concept. It was very much, are we going to have an awful federation, la 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 la, and he represented straight in throughout the gate, there is positive vibes, we're not corrupt, whatever, and yes, doing his job, and the crappiest job ever, but he did it, and he did it for a long time, and so it was incredibly satisfying to see him return. Felt great.
Yeah.
And yeah, he could have easily have been that sort of character where the audience really liked him, so they brought him back again, because he's just so likable in that little way. Quality-wise, I mean, there's nothing wrong about him whatsoever, and his vibe was so fresh. Where are you thinking? Because again, we are also talking about in comparison to Discovery's characters, right? This is entirely vacuum-based. So, how is he in the pantheon of Star Trek Discovery characters? Not compared to Picard or Data, but in that pantheon.
Well, the fact that he actually, we knew his name.
Yes.
After
wow.
one scene.
That's a good point.
And that we actually cared enough about him to we need to see this guy again. This is a good character.
Yeah.
He needs to come back. That's pretty important as well. I'm probably thinking B for him, just because I don't know if I can get can't put him over or at the same level as some people that have massive amounts of screen time. But I really did like the character. He did make an impact. And
well, he also kind of did more in his short time than, unfortunately, Aroshikam or some other people. He felt he did more. But the scenes were about him, right? No, I was also thinking a B. I mean, fair enough, probably a low B in the grand scheme as we get there. But I think he stands above a C for sure, because his vibe is so is good, is strong. And what a great shout.
Glad we're on the same page with that one.
Yeah. And like I say, one of the 20 or so characters we know the name of. I mean, there's so many characters, but yeah, absolutely.
Sahil in Starfleet Academy, yes. Data's gut, I agree. That would be amazing.
Yes, that really would be.
Mellow Canuck, it's Sahil. Don't you remember #Justice for Sahil?
It was a whole thing. A whole thing we did.
Yes, indeed. All right, well, that was the only super chat we got so far to put in a suggestion. So anybody else want to super chat in? We will look at whoever you guys would like to look at and discuss. By the way, 37 of you here, which is amazing. 24 likes, also great. But I think we could get 30. Just saying.
But yeah, if you want to put on one of the pre-ready people, then we can jump into that. But yes, you guys are determining who we'll talk about next. Side people or small people or controversial people. Up to you guys. Bring someone in.
Here's one that
yes. Season 1, Paul Stamets.
Season 1, Stamets. Now, I really liked Season 1 Stamets. I kind of liked his snarky attitude.
You loved it so much you gave him your room key, Stuart. That's how much you loved his snarky attitude.
I just thought the character was great. Yeah. Yes, Mellow Canuck. You don't have to look him up. No, very dedicated to his work. Kind of lived in that vein. He wasn't good with people. He He was doing the mycelial mushroom thing, and he did a really great job with it. He created this with his partner, created this whole new system of travel. That's pretty smart guy, but a lot of times those smart people don't have the correct skills to deal with other people, and we definitely saw that with him. He definitely came across as a snarky asshole. I, for whatever reason, resonated with that character and loved it.
For whatever reason.
Whatever reason. He did change a lot during the course of the show, so we're going to have a few different Stametses to talk about. I understand why people don't like him. I totally get it. But I kind of liked his just straight to the point attitude and the way that he dealt with things. And he is not the chief engineer, for the record. He is just the mycelial expert. That
Get it right.
Right? So, yeah, I think he was one of my favorite season 1 characters. I don't know where I want to rank him yet. I want to hear what Sam has to say. But, yeah, I did like season 1 Stamets.
Well, he's also one of the only actual characters in season 1, right? He had an arc, he had a journey, he had something to him. He wasn't a bridge officer, he was a lead story character who then got a mirror as well, right? So there was something to him. Yeah, I mean, having now watched the whole season and met the guy several times, of course, it does change perspective a little bit. He's intentionally a dick. He's a guy you don't like, you don't want to work with, who's going to push you and be annoying. But in his niche of work, you're going to do great work with him. If you don't want to get reassigned, if you can deal with it, then you're going to cutting edge science. He's obviously got huge autism, so once you accept he can't deal with people properly, and then this version, right, they massively cut down that later, but this version in particular, the season 1 version, right, that's kind of specific. He just can't deal with people, and that's, it's kind of charming in its own way, which is why then it's nice him doing with his husband, because he can deal with him, and they have a good vibe together. But, there are many people in life who just aren't nice people until you really get to know them, and you're also not doing the thing they feel pressure doing. Because remember, all season 1 is based around the idea that a man called Gabriel Lorca came in for a different universe, knew his evil people, and was able to hand.
They can't see the chart, by the way.
There you go. Bollocks! Well, thanks for telling me. 20 minutes in anyway. Remember.
Sorry.
Them, the audience. Yeah. So a guy called Gabriel Lorca came in. He knew who to manipulate, and he picked a crew who he knew the bastard versions from his universe. He handpicked them and knew how to manipulate them, and he's always pushing them in a war frame. So he's presumably sending Stamets really stressful emails about, you need to get this done by this date, Mr. Stamets, or this, and this. So he's not in a, you know what I mean? He's under pressure as well as being in a war. So he's obviously, like anybody, being pushed. So he's snapping, right? So you understand him once you know the full context, right? And that's why it's interesting to compare him to season 5 when he's much more chill, much more personable. He's able to be, right? Etc. etc. So there's a lot of context with him. It's like Burnham when she's a prisoner. She's not really happy-go-lucky a prisoner, is she? So obviously it's all specific. As a character, he was good with some of his characterization. I'm trying to think what he did in season 1 except being snarky, though. Like, as actual, like... Except there was a time loop on, but he was great in that, in general. I know what Burnham did.
Everything.
Yeah.
B? You think it'd B?
I think B is fair. Because he got a lot more to do. And like I said, it's interesting to know him in context.
Yeah. And keep in mind, it's only season 1 Stamets.
Yes. Yes.
We can look at other Stamets. That's the plural for Stamets, I believe. But yes, B. All right. Ozzy throws in $5. Rest in peace, Jill Jacobson. She was in TNG and DS9. It's the lady from the Royale. And in DS9, she played the chick that was hot for Odo, which would have been really great to see them get together, but she didn't. So yes, thank you, Ozzy.
Thank you, and yes, indeed. And 70's way too young. I did see that news story, and it's just...
Yeah.
Everyone should get to 99.
At least. Up to 3,000. It's about 3,000. Little People Pets, $5. People mentioned him already, but I'll put in the dough. Vance.
Yes. Now,
Audit is an amazing actor. Absolutely. He is.
now, would you say that he changed or not changed? Because I would argue, I think he's probably the same. He's a singular character.
He's the same. He hasn't changed. Yeah.
Which I commend him. I'll let you speak a second. But I commend him for being the fact that they didn't. Again, whatever happened, whatever. The fact that he maintained his goodness in the burn time, to not feel like he was suddenly this light and breezy admiral after. Like, he was still the same guy throughout, and so therefore I commend him for being that strong. Stuart, your thoughts on Admiral Vance?
I thought he was a breath of fresh air for the show. Again, a fantastic actor. Definitely has a commanding presence. Very calm, even dealing with Odessa, whatever that one name was.
Osira.
Yeah, thank you. He's very level-headed. He definitely somebody that I would want to be under his command, because I feel like he definitely cares about his people, knows his stuff, and is also very competent. But also a family man. We find out he has a wife, he has a daughter, and later he's like helping her with her homework and stuff. They were separated when they first met him, so he hadn't seen his family in a while. At the end of the show, they are together again. So, yeah, he's somebody that's making the best of a bad situation and still manages to not be a dickhead about it. So he's kind of the exact opposite of like Stamets season 1, I guess. But no, I think very well portrayed and definitely Admiral material, and not a bad Admiral. So that's good. That's obviously good because it's the opposite of bad, right? So,
I mean, he's kind of the ultimate reverse Badmiral, a good Admiral.
What?
Yeah, as we said, as I alluded to with Sahil, the amount of darkness they could have brought in with the Starfleet subplot is limitless. Would have felt like season 1 then, but the fact they went the high road so well, and then kept on that high road, as in they haven't broken down, they're doing the best they can with as little as they can, and this guy is a really calm headmaster to keep the kids in order, and doing so much with so little. I hadn't even thought of it until you said it. Yeah, calm. That's kind of actually amazing, because it's not that he's plain, it's not that he's underacting, it's just that he's able to have that really commanding presence, while keeping it. I mean, it's a classic example where my dad often gives of you don't get in dangerous bridge situations people going, "Sir, shield's at 20%. We're good," because they're trained not to. The TNG episodes when, right, shield's down to 20%. We're all going to die in 7 seconds. What should we do, Captain? And no one's acting, right? That's more real because it has to be, because the fact that he's so calm, it has a certain groundedness that works really well. Acting wise, he almost hits everything. Certainly there's less good advanced scenes where he's not given too much, but when he's given something, he excels. His Osira negotiation scene is incredible, and we commended that at the time. His look is amazing. Salt and pepper with a grey uniform, very distinct. I wish he would do conventions in the UK. I'd like to meet the guy and say hello, because I'm annoyed he wasn't at Vegas. Especially since I'm sure the hair colour will change although he is in Academy, which is excellent, as we know. I mean, I think it's fair to say this is like one of the most SS's in Discovery, because he's very few even medium scenes. Like, he kind of just nails it. Yeah. And it's not even like I only know him from Mummy, and that's not all the same character. So the fact that he obviously, it's not just resting on the laurels of he's a totally different character, which is great.
Yeah, he's great in the Mummy as well. Yeah.
And it's not even that he's a safe character, because you could argue he's boring and safe, but he doesn't come across that way. There's something about him that just kind of works. Yeah.
Oh, and Ray Rick says he did do a convention in the UK. It was at Comic-Con Birmingham. You missed it.
Did he now?
It wasn't a Star Trek convention. That's why it flew under your radar.
Yeah.
Comic-Cons they're below you. Just do Star Trek, you convention snob.
Goodness. And also, Burnham's quite far away. I mean, you do that trip, it is the other side of the country kind of thing. It's relative. We have distances different to you. I didn't register. It must have been the other branded convention I don't go to, as in different company. Might have been the one in it's like on the Welsh border near Birmingham or something. They like get loads of very high-risk people, but it's a weird convention, and I don't know. Didn't know that.
Now you do.
Yes, and knowing is half the. Yes.
33 people here, 27 likes, guys. Hit that like button. Let's get those likes up to 30. 3 more. That's all we need. Plus, go vote in the poll. Well, we have 33 votes, actually, so looks like everybody has voted, so that's good.
Well, damn. All right. Bring someone in, Stuart. We have quite a few.
No, I brought the last one in. You bring somebody in.
Fair enough. Okay, let's bring in... Ooh. What a selection.
What a savings.
My grandfather's hammer.
What a selection.
What a savings. Sir? Nothing. Harry Hardcore Fenton Mudd, otherwise known as Dwight Schultz. Is that his name? No.
No, it's in The Office. I think it is.
No, I know, but is it
His name is Rainn
Wilson. But is it Dwight Schultz? Is that the guy that character?
I don't know.
Dwight from The Office. Am I right on that? Shrewd. Dwight Shrewd. Definitely had the beard, so you didn't like... You know, it's like any Doctor Who actor. Grow a beard, don't like the Doctor anymore. Yes, Harry Mudd. Odd character, only existent in the season 1 era, which is a very distinct era. And actually in a short, which was written by Mike Mann, his first Star Trek-ness, which is actually reasonably well written, just daft. No shocker, Mike Mann wrote it. No, he is confusing because he doesn't feel like Mudd at all, which is weird because he's playing Mudd, and really would have been good as like another guy who knew Harry Mudd, like in the same circles. Then it would have been like, oh, great characterization, but he doesn't feel like Mudd at all. He's too menacing, too murderous. He's not sly enough. Like he's just a different guy called Harry Mudd, even though he isn't. Very deliberate. I mean, but he's during a war. It's what 7 years earlier. But definitely a bit of a whiplash. If you watch them two side by side, they're not playing the same character, like, clearly. So, I'll let you jump in there, because, yeah, interesting.
I think he was actually a bright light in the Discovery early days. I kind of enjoyed... I didn't know what to expect seeing him come into play Harry Mudd. And, yeah, he didn't really come across as Hardcore Fenton Mudd very much when you look at the original one. But... I get what he was doing. Again, yeah, as you said, it was many years earlier, so a lot can happen to a guy. But honestly, some of like the episodes with him and his scenes, I think, are some of the most enjoyable.
Stuart, the bug.
Stuart the bug. Yes, they named a bug after me. That was amazing. Anyway, also magic to make the Saneth man go mad, where he kills Lorca like 74 times. Was amazing as well, because I love the interaction between Lorca and him, and just seeing all the creative ways he can get to kill the guy was really great. As much as I liked Lorca, it was still fun to watch. And the whole time loop thing, really great premise, great idea. I think that was one of my favorite episodes of Discovery, those early Discoveries. And yeah, I think he really did a great job. Feels kind of... Doesn't feel piratey enough to be Hardcore Fenton Mudd, but he's making it his own, and I think it's an interesting take. So I did enjoy him a lot.
Yeah, not pirate or what's the word?
Swashbuck.
No, like scavenger. No, like whatever the role of Mudd was, he's more of a low life kind of thing. Like, yeah, I didn't think he's a smuggler or a trader or a pirate. Like, none of that came across, really. He's just a bit of a scummy criminal guy.
He's an opportunistic guy.
Is he? I mean,
so, yeah.
all we saw him was in a prison and then murdering a guy. He didn't do anything that was, money-making or anything. Yeah, that's the thing. It's tricky, because as is everything in Discovery, right? You got to take it with what it is, not what it's trying to be. It's a terrible Mudd, but he's a really interesting guy called Mudd. Great performance, good choices... The fact that it went that dark was interesting, but also still had the, had the pure joy in murder, which you don't see, because he played this is not real. I'm enjoying murdering you, but it's also a video game to me. This is all fake. I can reset and you'll be alive again. And that's a really hard thing to kind of play because it can't be meaningless, but it's got to be meaningful in a certain way. But he never came back. It would be interesting to see how he would have with better writers. At least to like tonally match it.
Did kind of come back in the short, but
that was the season 2, which is the same original people. So it's still the same era-ish. I would go C because I think. I guess not. I don't know. Yeah.
I'd probably put a B, personally. Again, wish we had more time with him. I kind of didn't understand his whole. I don't want to spend time with his wife. Heaven forbid. I mean, she was attractive. She was wealthy. Didn't quite understand his motivations there. In TOS, I understand it much more after they were married and she was naggy But yeah, I think B's fine.
Can we say B for an original character, but C for Mud?
Sure.
So kind of in the middle, because you would not read him as Mud if you didn't know. You'd say he was just a scoundrel. That's the word I was looking for, scoundrel. I think that's a problem. That should be a downgrade of a point, because you wouldn't know it was Mud.
Okay, we'll put him at C then. I think that's fair.
Well, I think in the middle's fine. I think that's actually a really fair. And then people can.
I don't know how I would put him in the middle, except for literally putting him in the middle.
Yeah, put in the middle. I think that's.
We don't do that though.
Sometimes we do.
I mean, we've done it like once. What?
I'd be interested to re-listen to the animated series version of Mud and see because that's the same actor.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be interested to see how that lined up in the scale because it's a different sort of performance.
It was good. It was good.
Yeah,
definitely lined up. Okay, we'll put him in the middle then. Stuck in the middle.
Yeah, unless people think strongly to move him, that's how this goes as well.
Fair enough.
Yes.
It looks like nobody wants to talk about Discovery people.
Oh.
That's so sad.
It's up to you guys to put them in.
Yeah.
But obviously we have more in the bank if you wanna throw a new one in.
Who, me?
Yes.
Well, I'm gonna do this because
he's doing it. He's doing it.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
Oh.
What am I doing now?
I don't know.
I know. Come on. There you go.
Okay.
Season 1 Lorca. And it's funny because look at the look on his face, and then the other picture you have for him is the exact same look on his face, which is hilarious.
Yeah, without the eye. Because even though... Okay, so the reason I did this is because they're sort of 3 different characters, right? The idea of good Lorca, the practicality of bad Lorca playing good, and bad Lorca playing bad. So at least I wanted a distinction, bad Lorca playing good and bad Lorca playing bad. Because they are not the same characterization.
Yeah.
Mostly. So this is bad Lorca playing good. Yes.
I know you don't like Lorca.
We will have 2 different scores here, Stuart, and that's fine. This is your version.
I think Lorca was a great captain as far as a more harder-edged, more wartime captain, more like separating himself from his crew, except for his higher-ups. But you find out the reason behind all that. The fact that he's similar enough to Prime Lorca that most people didn't even notice there was a difference kind of speaks volumes. I kind of like his take charge attitude and that stuff. Even Admiral Cornwell, who had a relationship with him, didn't realize that he was different. So he played a good Prime Lorca. I think Prime Lorca was pretty much the same as this, just not as dark, obviously. I would have loved to see Prime Lorca, but I think, first of all, fantastic actor. No matter what he does, it's going to be great. He definitely owned the bridge, much to the detriment of everyone else serving on the bridge, because we never learned any of their names. But it was refreshing when Pike came in and kind of was the exact opposite of him in every way. But no, I think he really killed it. And the only thing that bothers me is that we never saw the Prime Lorca. Even in a flashback or something, I would have loved to have seen that. And, I mean, the possibility still exists. It can happen, but I really liked his command style. Yeah, he said he wasn't a Starfleet captain at all. I kind of disagree with that. but yeah. He had his fun moments. He had his, little twinkle in the eye talking to people because he knew stuff that they didn't, which came across really well, I think. Yeah, that's all I got for right now. Let's see what you say.
So where would you rank him if you're doing entirely Stuart generated?
He would be an S tier character for sure.
Cool. So you can put that version to S tier, and we'll do my spiel.
Sure.
Yes, it's one of the few ones we're just not going to agree on, so that's okay. And yes, guys, put in your super chats for who wants to look at. Loads in the buffer, ready to go. Put in your suggestions. Lorca, I mean, obviously he's a symptom of a problem of Season 1, and he can't get away from that. I'd love to have seen him written Season 5 with more nuance that isn't the way they did it. That said, of course, he is the most complicated character in the season, because he's playing... So the actor is playing a wartime bastard, incest guy, playing a wartime broken guy who's just on the edge of chaos, who's acting as a secret mission guy trying to destroy the Klingons, who isn't his fault, like that just happened, that's separate. So there's lots of layers, and you're right, once you rewatch it, like, yeah, I get the subtext, like, it's there. But the fact that, I think I said this in TOS, it's harder for a mirror person to blend in with our world than the reverse. But there's a war, and he's obviously talked his way into the ship that can change the war, so he's able to do it. The fact that he clearly manipulates his crew, he's got everyone under his thumb, is interesting and definitely comes across. He picked Tilly at the academy because he knows his kill is a horrible butcher lady who's great in what he needs. Like, he sees a potential, he knows the potential in everybody, which is cool. The twist moment is ridiculous when he is fake being tortured for ages, and then, and then it's like, it was me, I did kill your sister. And then he becomes, make whatever great again, just a horrendous. He goes from being a great character to a terrible character over the course of 12 minutes, kind of thing. But that's them writers, that's not him. The actor's really giving it his all, which I appreciate. He's, and you definitely couldn't play that without knowing the entire twist. So he definitely, you can sense it going in. Yeah, Cornwell, of course, as you say, didn't know, but I mean, he doesn't see him much, and only on duty. But as soon as they slept together, she was sensing something was wrong. But again, there's a war. I mean, no one really in Starfleet does war, so you can't know how someone's going to be after a war and destroying stuff, and it's going to change you either way. He just played into that in a way that made sense. And it's tricky, because if he was a DS9 captain, you'd be like, well, that's a hard-edged captain. But then Cisco tried genocide a planet, so captains get away with really bad stuff if they have to, right? He just did it with a more steely fist. I mean, Jellicoe, right? Who was a harder-ass captain, Jellicoe or Lorca?
Both about the same.
I mean, yeah. I mean, this guy did it with more of a bitch slappy attitude. The guy did it with a cold, just do what I say attitude. But yeah, you're right, very comparable, right? Different
Federation, though, as well.
Oh, no, well indeed. But the fact that comparable is a good point. I'm saying, like, you can see a lot of them. I mean, boy, this was super needed, and we said this at the time in the Georgiou flashback episode or Swap Universe episode, to have Lorca be the guy in the cell, to have that payoff would have been the obvious thing. I know it'd be expensive, he would charge loads of money, fine, but it would have been so needed to continue that arc. It'll have Prime Lorca. It would have been so advantageous, because this character, now having seen all 5 seasons of Discovery, you needed to bring him back in some form to kind of end that, to see how he'd be written better, more balanced later. And you never got that, so he's a really microcosm character, right?
Yeah.
I would go C for enjoyment of character, but B for complexity of character. But, there's loads of better characters I enjoy watching more, and he's a symptom of the season 1, which is bad, so I guess in the middle of B and C as well.
Oh, we're not doing that for everybody.
Oh, then definitely C, because I'd rather, Sahil much better in terms of, like, vibe.
Well, vibe, yes, but we're not talking about vibe, we're talking about a character. Whether they're good or bad, the vibe
But that's also
matter.
then performance, isn't it? Because am I judging character or performance?
Well, Sahil's is very flat. every time I see him.
Well, he smiles a lot.
This is a much better actor, the Lorca actor. So Chris Isaac.
Yes.
Is it Chris Isaac? Whatever his name is.
Jason Isaacs.
Jason Isaacs. That's it.
Yeah, go with B. But you know, it would be interesting to see to rewatch season 1 and review it. But you'd still have to point out all the canon problems because we do it for TNG. Like, you know, it doesn't become better because we're used to it. It's still the same problems, you know. Well, there you go.
Cool. All right. Let's see. Keith Jeffrey, 1974, 2 pounds. Jet Reno, S tier. Yeah, Jet Reno was also one of my favorite characters. Loved her dry sense of humor. Her delivery. That was great. Not used enough.
And also, fair to say, didn't change throughout the seasons?
No, I wouldn't say so, no.
Yeah, I would agree.
What was I saying? What was the last thing I said?
Sorry. Dry delivery.
Dry delivery. Interesting. We've learned a lot about her various jobs that she's had. The fact that she jury-rigged the ship or the medical stuff. She's a good engineer. She's a good kind of jack of all trades, I guess we could call her.
Jet of all trades.
Perfect. Severely underused, though. I wish she would have showed up more often. She kind of had the T'Lyn syndrome, where we introduced this cool character. You sometimes see her, but most of the episodes you don't. Sad situation. But no, I kind of liked her. Just, again, the attitude of, I'm here, I'll do what you say, but might not like it necessarily, or I don't agree with it. But yet she'll override people if she needs to because she knows better. She does put that forward. So again, just didn't see enough of her, which is sad. Again, she might be making an appearance in Starfleet Academy, and again, that's great. These characters need more breathing room and more development, and I think I would love to see that. So hopefully she is in Starfleet Academy. I believe they said she is. She's one of the main characters, yeah.
I think they said guest role.
Oh, okay. Maybe she's special guest teacher for the kids or something.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Perfectly right for her, yeah.
But definitely a good Starfleet officer. With the way she handled the situation of I can't remember the name of the ship right now.
Hiawatha.
Yes, thank you.
Because I just happen to know this shit. Why is that useful, my brain?
I knew it too. I just couldn't latch onto it. But yeah so yeah, need to see more of her.
Yes, I mean it's odd to have a comic relief character in a dark, dramatic show. You know, it's always going to be tonally off a bit, and definitely confusing performance the rest of the seasons. Should always be there being useful, yet almost never there doing anything useful, and often just turning up to say dialogue and not do anything useful and just leave.
Yeah.
It's kind of the opposite of what the role would normally be, and even things like the last time we saw her almost with a book repository place, and Hish is walking between corridors to fix things when it's times of essence. Like, you know, you should beam to it and fix it quicker. Like doing stupid things that don't make sense because, So, confusing character in that regard, right? Not the best served by the show she's in, unfortunately. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah, and repairing the phasers in a floor panel. That's not her fault. But that's fine.
Well, no, indeed. Yeah, very talented. Very much like Lorca, actually, as well.
Yeah.
And Stamets. Bloody hell.
Yes.
No nonsense, antisocial, will not be nice to you, but boy, you trust them to do their job. That really is all three of them. That's kind of amazing, actually.
But once she gets to know them and she likes you, then it's a different situation. Then she ribs you just for the sake of it.
Well, yeah, she's like Topol, we know, who, if she doesn't like you, she'll be annoying to you. If she does like you, she'll be annoying to you, but with a different tone, and you'll get it. So it's kind of a, subtle variation. But, I mean, talk about where she came from. I'd love to see her before, because I got to imagine she kind of got broken a bit from Hiawatha. Years of daily grind to keep people alive, literally at any cost, meaning ruining their bodies, ruining their, horrible. She Frankenstein them all, right? Absolutely horrible, but kept them alive. right? So that would break anybody, that level of care. And so you see why she's just... You get it, right? Good idea for backstory. No idea why she went to the future, but they don't know either, right? Whatever. And she's not in it enough to know. Does she feel like her family vibe? Don't know. Often very annoying, but trying to be, right? And that's can't really hold that against the character because that's the point. Trying to be annoying. And this is obviously for Discovery. I would say B for Discovery quality. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I would have probably put her at an A, but again, not enough screen time to justify that, in my opinion.
Because people like Booker, like people who are really good, sing, and she's where she does good what she's given, but she's not given a chance to sing, and there's too much holding her back in a lot of those scenes. Like she didn't even get one episode to just do her thing like an expert, really, which is weird. I think she would have. I know.
All right. Well, Olivia's here with $10. Thank you so much. I just blew 2 truck tires on my truck. I'm really mad. So mad that I am going to say Bug Stuart looks better than Trekyards Stuart. So let's talk about Bug Stuart. Season 1, Choose Your Pain. Ah, yes, we talked about Stuart already a little bit. A literal bug.
Did you really break your tires there? If you did, I'm really sorry. I can't tell, though, based on satirical humour style.
Yeah. Well, Stuart's just a bug that gets information for Harry Mudd. Can sneak out of the cell and go retrieve stuff that it can carry, I guess. All I remember is that, I was like, what? Seriously, you named it Stuart. Out of all the things you could name it. I was not happy. But that's fine.
Yeah, you're happy to get a sort of a name drop. Just not happy that how it was.
Exactly.
But, I often say that Pixamondo does character work really well. That is a really well integrated bug, CG-wise. Mm-hmm. This is a heavy zoom in on a scene. It's really good. Like, it's lit really well. That's a really well done bug. Just saying. But they always do bugs really well. So,
and we know its name, unlike some of the bridge crew.
Reese. Bryce.
What were their first names, though?
Dallas Howard. What? No. Thank you. Oh, first names. Oh, God. Do they have first names?
They all have first names. No one knows them, though. But they do exist in the canon.
Oh.
But anyway, Stuart, we know his name. And from the little amount of screen time he had, that's amazing, considering it took us forever to learn any of the bridge crew's names.
Oh my God. Bryce's name is Ronald. Ronald A. Bryce. That was never said. Ronald. Ronald. He is not Sue Ronald. Who's the other chap? So it's Bryce and Reese.
Reese. R-H-Y-S.
Gen. G-E-N. Gen Reese. I think they said that once. That does have a slight ring bell.
I think they said Detmer's name, too. And Washicum's. I don't know. They all have names, though, apparently. It's sad that we don't know them. But I mean, honestly, after watching...
Yeah, Kayla Detmer. That, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. That rings a bell.
How the hell do you know Washicum? Obviously don't... Joan? Yeah.
Anyway, Stuart, give him a D.
Yes, give him the D. But yes, you're right. He'll always be remembered for the name.
It's funny we were talking about him before Olivia came in to do that. Mm-hmm. But I'm not surprised that she did that either. So
there are a lot of great one-off characters. There's actually a pretty broad range of people in Discovery. There's a real check on Discovery, yes indeed. Hey Terrence, how you doing?
All right, next up we got Olivia again with $5. Captain Pike, who we never see again. I wonder what strange new worlds he's He's seen. We'll never know.
Olivia, you can watch him actually in Star Trek Strange New Worlds, the TV show, streaming now.
Yeah, bringing in Pike, played by Ensign Mount, was a stroke of genius, honestly, because that's what the show really needed to kind of pick it up. Like I said earlier, when he took over from Lorca, and he's like, "Everybody, introduce yourselves," and I know you've had some trouble with your past captain. I don't want to be that guy. Come to me with anything. It was, again, another breath of fresh air for the show, and definitely picked season 2 up off its feet and made it a much better, much more enjoyable watching experience, let's say. So good, in fact, that public opinion, we want a show with him. And guess what? I think we have something like that on the horizon.
Yeah, just a bit.
No, I think it was a nice new take on Pike as well. We had the guy from the JJ films, who I really liked. Again, another good Pike. Jeffrey Hunter's fine in the cage, but that's a beat down Pike, and I don't know if he continued on with the role or whatever, would have changed it up. But it's definitely a more depressing Pike to watch. This guy is a fantastic leader. Definitely, he respects his team. He wants to include everybody, and I mean, he got his own show as a result. So, I mean, what else can you say? He was fantastic in it.
Yeah, he's definitely the not Kirk, because he's very similar to Kirk while being Anson's own fun version. It's like if you quoted a tagline of things they have in common, like basic vibes, they would be very similar. Because guess what? A handsome, charismatic, friendly, charming, likable leading man is appealing to most people. No shit.
It's kind of safe to say, too, he was a better captain in Discovery than he has been in Strange New Worlds. A lot of times he's a little too friendly with the crew. Kind of almost like a lackadaisical attitude on the bridge.
Oh, yes.
We've talked about that before. And because of real life things, he wasn't in a lot of the episodes of like the second season, like focused on. He was in them, but he's a good friend to the crew, more so than a captain. But for Discovery, he came in and filled that role and actually built them up as a crew, which I think is really important.
Wow.
Because he knew what they had been through. So,
wowza. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, his uniform said it all, and I wish he would stayed in the uniform or moved everyone else to his uniform, which he could have done. He would have been allowed to. Yeah, I mean, you know, like I said, a likable, charming, affable, friendly character. The exact opposite of Lorca. Very intentional, bringing the Enterprise vibe. Now, if I recall, he was often not put down, but looked to be inferior to Burnham, but that was a common for everybody. But that worked with him a few times, where she could science better, she could fight better, she could weather better. And he'd always just take on the chin and move on, and that was important, right, to be that friendly vibe.
Yeah.
Always be slightly admired by the fact that he watched Cornwell die on a torpedo-proof door to some dumbness, which obviously he inherits. I don't know if, I would love to see in the script the fact that he was originally a religious man and they edited around that would have been a horrible choice. All that stuff, you know, simplify him to just his good bits. That worked really, really well. That would have probably ruined the character, honestly, as no. Yes, he was very, let's use the crew. Is he too lax in Stranger Worlds? Possibly.
At times, yeah.
Well, he doesn't. It's tricky. Stranger Worlds.
It's funny because you're the one that made this argument for Strange New Worlds. He's not a great captain. He's too friendly with the crew.
Well, I'm trying to think though, because most situations nowadays they aren't doing something where he needs to be first and foremost being captain. He's able to be off on the side cooking or negotiating, or so therefore he's not doing the captain mindset all the time anymore. So that's probably why he does feel that way a bit in season 2, because he couldn't be there, right? He couldn't do the full week of 6-hour days, 7-hour days. This Pike obviously was there to do a specific job. Interesting. Yeah, that's an interesting debate. So I think I would say that Vance is a better character still, because he was strong from day one and he never did much bad. This Pike has some negative stuff based on, it's like his strategy and launching the 95 shuttles from their bay and like things they did that don't make sense. It has to be things against his character, because if it was a real Trek character, he'd know we haven't got 97 shuttles, and we shouldn't stay on the same plane and shoot the thing. So I want to give him an A, because I think there are still better characters in Discovery, because he has season 2 problem writing fatigue, which I think pulls him down. But that's really the only thing. I don't know. What do you think?
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Definitely needs his own show so he can shine a bit more. Maybe it'll happen someday.
Yeah, and he shined very, very well. I saw season 3 won't be in it more, because he had a kid that he wanted to hang out with, which is fine. Wife's pregnant, spend time with them. You're clearly one of the center stones of the show, but also able to walk away for a long time, which is a fun position to be in as a lead. Like, I am the lead, but also I could be away for 6 weeks. Yes, huh?
Yeah.
Whereas Will Shatner, like, he was there every day, all day.
Yep.
Very present in the show.
Ozzy throws in $2 and says she likes licorice. I think you mean licorice, black licorice, which is Jet. Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
Which I don't know. That's an odd choice. I don't like licorice. I mean, I love licorice, just not black licorice. I'll eat it, but I don't enjoy it.
Yeah, it's like a Marmite, isn't it? It's like a sort of distinct flavor profile that your taste buds either like it or hate it. It's not really, it's not really much around there. All right, next.
Olivia Julius, $5. Her Most Imperial Majesty, Mother of the Fatherland, Overlord of Vulcan, Dominus of Kronos, Regina Andor, Philippia, Georgia, Augustus, Laponius, Centurius. Jesus Christ.
Yes. All right. So this, I suppose, would be the mirror version that we saw in context before she joined the crew, because she certainly, when she was able to walk freely in the crew, she's not acting the same as the Emperor of a galaxy, right? They're not the same character. If you're looking at, one would know the colour of her banister, one wouldn't. All right, Empress Georgiou in the purest form, evil Empress.
Go.
Oh, go. Yes, I mean, really. So great costume, great hair, great, like, the vibe is very successful. This weird power playness, this weird everyone's beneath me. She has a nice arrogance, works well, very murdery as she should be. Sort of person who you can buy them just saying, "What should we do with the prisoners? Kill them all, should we?" Yes, murder them now, done. Why are you talking to me? Oh, you're not gonna do it? Boom, dead. Okay, now next second in command. Now you murder all the prisoners, and like there's no again this version there's no pity center of the brain. It's all about the domination and the strength via domination. So fun to watch, and lots of murdering in this version.
I hated her character, but that I was supposed to. She did a really good job of being that bitch.
Yes.
I'm kind of glad her character loosened up a little bit and got more funny. Not the biggest Michelle Yeoh fan.
Yeah.
But she definitely did the job well for that kind of role, and definitely killed it. She definitely came across as a baddie that nobody was supposed to like. And I don't think she really got redeemed personally, but I mean, we'll be talking more about her soon, the end of January, in fact. Anyhow, no, she definitely dominated, owned the scene she was in, and didn't take shit from anybody. Like you said, the costuming was amazing for everything that she wore, but I mean, she's an emperor, so yeah, of course.
Thanks, Benjamin. Oh, and Adam, how should you use the bathroom with a hat? ceremonial hat for one scene. Don't worry, special hat. It's all good.
Yes.
Silent Empress is fine.
Yes.
So this is very niche. This is her 2 episodes as Empress, not playing Empress when she was softer.
She eats Kelpian. She's remarkably cruel to everyone underneath her.
Not surprising though.
No.
But it's odd because she's not big and strong, right? Like she doesn't have that chemistry. She obviously killed with strategy, which came across. But also I got the impression, based on how those 2 episodes were, that she did horrifically gruesome things in the past that meant that people don't want to cross her now because she's done horrible things. Versus she will go in and stab you brutally now. She'll go big in that. Like, if you start off the conversation with, I've already murdered your family, I don't think the next person's going to want to deal with you because she'll take it to the top step, right? Whereas, like, Sulu and such in the Mirror Universe, like, they're just going to go in and stab you. It's more visceral. Like, you can outplay them. She's already murdered your family before you even known you're a traitor, right? So I want to give it at least a B, because I think the Mirror version was very clean and pure and bad.
Cool.
What are you thinking?
Yeah, I wasn't sure where to place her, so I was thinking A, but
I could go A if we're distinctioning. I mean, low A, because successful Empress.
let's go A for now.
Let's go A for
I just
now.
don't want to see her beside Jet Reno.
Contrast. It's confusing. Yes. And I will, and thank you, Ray. Please do throw in some more. All of you guys, I will instantly throw in, because this feels weird, because some people don't get those multiple versions. I will instantly throw in the Section 31 her from season 2 to 5 to have that conversation, because she's not the same. She's the same, but she's not the same. So how do you feel what she became? And this is then, so this is after season 2 when she's been ungenocided, I suppose. And she becomes who she's actually going to be for the rest of the season. Or show.
Just adds another level of complexity to the character. You're never sure whether you can trust her or not. I also hate the fact they get handed her the Section 31 keys, but whatever. I don't know. She comes across as somebody that definitely knows how to work a room, definitely knows how to convince people into what she wants. And as a result, like I said, gets a little bit of a leg up in this new universe. Never quite sure of her motivations or intentions, and I think she plays it really well. Friendly, smiley at times, kind of snarky comments to people. Very, I would almost say passive aggressive, but you know that she'll back it up. So it's kind of a tough situation there. But yeah, I think, again, really layered character, considering that we know what she was, and like she's totally unredeemable, and they tried to redeem her, and they kind of did a fairly decent job. A lot of people think she kind of earned the redemption. Her dynamic with Michael Burnham is really good, kind of like a mother figure, because she found out that Captain Georgiou was very much Michael Burnham's kind of idol, I guess. And I hate to say better than the Mirror Universe Empress Georgiou from the first couple episodes, but she kind of is, because she has that underneath. Like I said, it's layered, so I'm seeing a lot more of her. She can't tell colors. She must be colorblind, but that's fine. And that's my thought on it. I don't know.
So what came to mind straight away was she's slightly boring and tries too hard. Now, it's odd that those both came to mind, because that's a weird thing to say, but in the Empress Georgiou, she just is bad. There's no acting, she just is. In this version of her, she could murder everybody, she wants to murder everybody, but she's trying to put that into snarky humour, which is just forced. Ew, you did this, this, and this, yeah. It's like, you were the Empress of a universe who killed 10 billion people, why are you being snarky? Right? Like, why are you being this way? I don't get it, except you're just trying to deal with being there. But she doesn't fit at all, right? Like, she's not the same person, but she is. You can't go from Hitler to fun agent. It doesn't really quite work. So it's very forced. But where else do you take the character, right? I don't know. So it's kind of... And that note was kind of the same thing throughout the whole show. And she does betray Burnham. She's untrustworthy, despite liking her, but not. I mean, she's always after for herself. Does she change? Not really. You know, she just does less evil things, but she's still the same snideness. I liked her when she's pretending to be evil again, because then you see the difference. But, you know what I mean? Like, does that make sense? I don't know. That's what my brain went to.
I think it makes sense, yeah. Like I said, you're never quite sure what her motivation is or what she's capable of. So...
But it's just... like I said, it's all very one note. One note and unbelievable. I don't believe this character would be held by Section 31. I don't believe they'd be used. I don't believe they'd be redeemed. None of those things I believe. So it's entirely like, we need this woman in this show to be here. Why? Because she's a name. Does she make sense? No. So it's hard to work with. Now, if they'd made her, let's say, a general in the Mirror Universe, cool, or a captain, but the Empress, you can't really go from worse than Hitler to our mate Jerry, who actually works with us and is nice. It's like, it doesn't really, you know. Like, can you imagine even like having evil Mirror Kirk on your crew? And he's evil enough.
You could never trust them. That's the point.
Yeah.
It just bothers me that they did that and included her in Section 31. Like, ooh, maybe take her captive and use her for information. Or what would you do in this situation? Kind of keep her on a short leash.
Now, if they had, it would have been hard to explain, but if they'd had a giant, like, okay, we're going to do several seasons with her, cool. And they plan this from episode 1, and Michelle knows this, so they say, okay, Section 31 have a drug that nullifies the evilness in Mirror people, which they say in later Discovery is a genetic thing, right? Now, if they did that, then I'd 100% buy the character, because she is an evil bitch, but it's being suppressed to just being an annoying bitch. Right? I would buy that. It's like you've taken the point off the spear, but there's the spear still there. But without that, I don't see how she can be who she is. So either way, I want to give her lower than other Georgiou, because I just like the cleanness of that performance better. I get it. I buy it. She's so hard to believe. So where do you want to put her, based on everything I said, if that changed your mind at all? So, yeah, I don't know.
B.
Okay. Yeah, it's a confusing one.
Yeah, she nailed the evilness of the Empress for sure. This one, like, I don't know. I just don't like her as a character, as an actor. So
she's not very varied in the show.
Yeah. Ray Ricks, though, £5. The most balanced character in Disco. Grudge, although she will need a queen tier. Oh, yeah. So high, she's off the chart. Sweet. Then I don't have to look at her.
Queen tier, that's funny. I mean, I'll commend them for not overusing the pet, because she's there a lot when it makes sense, and then never there again when doesn't. So I commend them for restraint. It's like when Patrick Stewart was very happy that a dog was in his show, and they're like, we'll bring the dog with us to space, and they talked him off it, because that'd just been silly. So I having seen all 5, I'm like, okay, yeah, you know, yeah, okay, yeah, okay. But it's funny because he's only annoying, or she's only annoying, because of the Queen joke. That's what makes it memorable, though, too, right? So what do you think? What are you gonna? How are you feeling on this?
I don't like the cat. So, where do you think she should be?
No, happy for a D. I think just like the bug, has some kind of fun.
Yep. Has
some funness.
If anybody disagrees, they can bump the cat up.
If you're a cat person, yes. Although it was surprising that wasn't in the last episode. I know it mentioned them, but surprised it wouldn't include. It's fine, of course. Just
Yeah. Anywho's. Next. Olivia Julius, $5. Saru went from a terrified person at the bottom of the food chain to a powerful leader, the best character growth in the series.
Season 1 Saru it is. OG.
You didn't specify, and you gave the whole character arc, and
Yes.
that's not how we do things here, because we have different versions of Saru.
We always start with the first, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, the original Kelpian, with all the backstory that was entirely thrown to the wolves.
I can sense death.
I can sense the coming of death, somehow, with absolute magic ability. Because, boy, the fact that he can sense the coming of death from a shuttle far away, which is not sensory, it's conceptual, right? In which case, problem.
Saru's always been one of the bright spots in Discovery for me, though. I've always liked the character. Doug Jones does a really fantastic job. The makeup's fantastic. The walk is great. Very alien. But yes, him being pushed around and bullied by Burnham and these fights that they have with each other, it was not a great look at first, honestly. When she is in fact in chains and a prisoner, he's kind of a little bit vindictive to her, a little bit. And I didn't think that was very great, but I kind of get his point. Like, she was snarky and superior to him through most of his career that they were working together. So now that he's got the hand up on her, yeah, I think she's probably deserves it, because it's Michael Burnham, season 1 Michael Burnham.
Very human reaction, ironically.
Yeah. We didn't know at this point that he was not a member, or the Kelpians weren't a member of the Federation. Didn't know all that stuff going into that. And I did appreciate, though, the look and the alienness of a bridge crew member. I thought that was great. Definitely need more of that kind of stuff going on in Star Trek. And Doug Jones is just such a fantastic actor with that kind of alien or demon or whatever monster kind of vibe.
Demon.
Every time he plays one. And he's very eloquent, the way he speaks. Very intelligent, very measured in his words generally. But yes, the original premise of the character just went away. But that's Brian Fuller we can blame for all of that, because anyway, yeah, I like Saru. It was always one of my favorite characters right from the beginning. So he gets better, though, I think. And then not, because he gets underused, but that's fine.
And it's funny because we had this little revelation a few minutes ago of how, and these are all season 1 characters. Is Jet Reno season 1? She must be. No?
Oh.
No, she started season 2. But
She's season 2. She's season 2.
Same-ish writers, and then they got fired, so.
Yeah.
Because Jet, Lorca, Stamets are all season 1 hard to get along with people. Saru is a hard to get along with person who's very smart. But he's hard to get on with when dealing with Burnham. So it's really niche, but that's how he feels in the first few, right? That's very specific. But it's another character who's very aggressive and unlikable in the scenes he's given, right? He wasn't given many science scenes. So that's a bit more, and that's why he works better, because it's like he's only mean with her. But she's really mean to him, as you said. Yeah, excellent makeup, performance coming through it. You did not think that's a guy in a mask. You thought, they're the tall alien.
Yeah.
Which he does all the time, but that's why he's so good. So, well done, right? Well done. The character itself is a tricky one because it's a concept more than a character. And as we'd said at the time, I believe, the premise asserted in episode 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 3, they don't even use it until Pavo. Anyway, so they even forget, because I was rewriting it on the fly kind of thing, they forget to use the point of the character all the way until they use it in the wrong way, as in he's the bad guy, and then very confusing, right? There's no arc, there's no logic, there's no continuation, and the power is not given any reason, logical, whatever. Having read the book, which was decanonized instantly, because in that they have a whole thing about Kirk and Spock and Burnham. In that whole book, it's about how Saru's been on the Shinjo longer, and Burnham gets promoted over him quicker, which he's annoyed about because nepotism. I mean, Saru didn't go to the academy, did less training, but Sarek's daughter, how she gets special treatment? Saru worked his arse off. He works a lot harder than Burnham, clearly. I mean, you can feel that, right? He's a you know, she just does stuff, he works harder. But he's always overshone by her, which means that you don't sense him as being smarter because he's never able to get the answer. It's a weird one, right? So it would have been nice to see him be. just be. Definitely better later. Definitely over and underused. He's a really broad character. I think this one I would also give a B to because I think they iterate up and up. So I would say B because I think interesting start gets better. What do you think? He's very
probably would have given him an A, but
so that would have meant that he only got a little bit better for Captain Saru and stuff.
Yeah.
See, I think there's a bigger jump in better. And I'd probably even say like season 3 is an A and season 4 might be an S kind of thing, like an actual like every bit when they kind of balance out the character, it improves more. Because he's definitely not as good as Pike in season 1, because Pike's so good, right?
He's good in a different way though.
But he's in a different way. What do you guys think?
I just think you like the letter B today. I think everybody's going in B.
I know.
If it wasn't for me, there'd be no A's.
Well, be A's and S's, yeah. If it's up to you, that top bit would be like, no, like silver characters. And then, why they're half the characters are S and A, which is fine. Just and then two animals. Guys, let us know what you think for season 1 Saru. I think we can all agree he gets better as the show goes on.
Yes.
Because if you say he's S straight away, then you're saying he's the same the whole way, and he's radically different in season 4. Radically.
Yes. Is that when he becomes Action Saru? Oh, it's season 5.
Which he totally isn't in any way.
Well, Mallow Canuck thinks he should get an S.
Ah.
Marco says B. Sobraxis, or sorry, never mind. Captain Corky says B. Okay, well, people are agreeing with you. Mallow Canuck says, oh, season 1. Yes, season 1. Saru.
Because then if you start averaging everybody, that creates lots of problems, because then everyone's being brought down by their worst stuff and being brought up by their good stuff, and then everyone's going to be... that's a really hard, hard thing.
Raj says season 1 B tier, so, yep.
Sobraxis. He's saying a thing. Stuart, do you remember Sobraxis?
Burnham did not do anything wrong. Klingons would have attacked the Starfleet fleet, pun intended. Anyway, she got screwed over hardcore.
Yes and no. Because she got the... okay. She did do something wrong. She mutinied on her captain and shot her. So she did do something wrong. And then she mutinied to fire. That is wrong. Right? And shooting first did not do the Vulcan thing, did not stop the war. So everything she did was wrong in that regard. The question
it was a Vulcan hello. She had to do it.
Yeah, so that was all 100% wrong. The question is, the Klingons were they anything different regardless? The fact is, she got the Torchbearer killed because she was there. Had she not been there, he wouldn't have got killed. That wouldn't have caused the first fight. So that was not the right decision. It wasn't her fault because it was a dumb scene that makes no sense. That's the scene's fault, right? Takuvma would have probably attacked, but he didn't attack first. And he wanted that provocation by having Torchbearer killed. Right? So he didn't attack first, because that would have been actually starting a war without permission from... he had to convince the council. So he had to have an action. He had to have action to have a reaction. And she caused the action and went further. If she had just left and the Shinjo warped away instantly or got captain, there'd be no war, end of story. So yes, all of her actions were wrong. They should just have left.
Yeah.
But yes, they wanted a war, but not without bad actions to lead to it. So, but that's the script, not her, right?
Yeah.
That's the problem with Discovery. It don't be making a lot of sense.
Too many cooks in the kitchen. Too many producers. Too many writers. All changing. Anyway, it's fine. Bray Ricks throws in £5. It says Admiral Cornwell.
Oh, I did, yeah.
Oh, you do. You do.
Yes. Lovely lady as well.
Absolutely S tier, in my opinion. Again, another good Admiral. No, bad intentions. She's kind of got that mom vibe, like she's taking care of everybody. She was in a relationship with Prime Lorca. Kind of calls Lorca, like the Mirror Universe one, on his bullshit. Not realizing it's a Mirror Universe version, obviously. But you're not ready to come back. You're being too aggressive. What's going on? And then she dies in the most heroic way possible. Don't get me started on that whole explosion and
build all of your ships out of that.
That door, I tell you what.
And also that door, but all the surrounding walls. Like that entire just chunk. It's not even people writing that. It's like robots that don't know anything.
How things works.
I mean that person wrote that scene has never seen any sci-fi before.
Yeah. Because
you can't do that. It's just they write soap operas where things just happen because they happen. It's crazy.
I didn't think I would like Cornwell when we first saw her. She comes across as a little bit of a hard edge when she needs to, which is what an admiral should do. But definitely grew to love her character because it was a friendly face. It was somebody you knew you could trust.
Yeah.
And
that's a good way of saying it, yeah.
Yeah, again, as you said, the actress is freaking great in person as well. So just an all-around good human being and character, in my opinion. And I wish she would have stuck around because not much to like in Discovery, and I liked her.
Yeah, she's a really interesting side note in Discovery in that she was flawed as a person, but tried really hard to do the right thing. She came on, was strong, stern, but also it came from the right place. The performance was really good and stoic, but still had the humanity in moments. And she died like a hero, been a very stupid scene. Sorry to the actress for dying a stupid scene, but it's the meaning is really good and cool and well done. So she's like I say a bright spark where Discovery couldn't push the character down enough that she kind of sings through it. Which is like Culber in his scenes where he gets murdered. Like he sings through the script. Like he just is better than the story. She is better than the material she's been given. S makes sense from a technical perspective, but is she in it enough to get the S? That's the only quantifier I'm going to say there.
Yes.
Okay. No, that was a question.
See, I love Admiral Anderson as well. But he wasn't in it enough to get an S. Like, he would be probably an A for me. Admiral Anderson is great. We needed to see more of him.
Or his twin brother,
who the fuck is Admiral Anderson?
Mr. Anderson is totally there. Yep. Although, thanks to hologram tech, he was on the bridge.
Yes.
Thanks to stupid hologram tech, he was because even though in Point Blank they can't get hologram tech right. Goodness.
But they can real-time hologram with somebody on Vulcan.
Yes.
Who can sit down. Hologram that can sit on the furniture in the room. That's great. Yeah.
Who needs any tech when you have Discovery tech?
All right, who's next? Well, Rillak says she cannot do anything wrong. She is Space Jesus, equal to the Great Koala. Damn. Olivia, $5. Daniels didn't see it coming, but also kind of did. The only original crew member of the NX-1. Well, Kovich is his name. And yes, another top-notch character, honestly. Well done as well. I really liked the acting. I liked his kind of measured, not giving a shit take on things. And why do you wear glasses? You don't need glasses. I like the way they look.
Hey,
shut the fuck up.
Why have you got black hair when you're not that old? Personal preference. It's fine.
Yeah.
So everything's a choice, right?
Yeah. I would love to see a spin-off series of Kovich, honestly. Because I think it would be super interesting knowing that it's Daniels now and all that implies, all the shit he's been through, all the shit he's seen. I mean, we got little glimpses of it here and there. All the old tech he had. He still prefers to use a pen and paper, like a pad of paper. Just really well written and acted, and a standout, honestly. Again, didn't see as much of him as I would have liked to, but more of him than I expected to. So it's kind of an odd dichotomy there.
The only thing I'll push back on is I think he works because you don't know much about him. He's the Jaws of the series. If he was a lead and you learned about him, he would just be some guy who just talks in riddles a bit too much. His ambiguity is the fun, and when he says too much, it kind of breaks down a little bit. So that I don't think it'd work as a series lead in any way, or even a series regular, but a popping up for a secret thing and having that, oh gosh, is there a good parallel in like DS9? Well, not even Sloane, because he was too much of a baddie, like in how they framed him. And he works in tiny bursts of okay, but yes, seeing him again in Academy, with then, have you guys heard about the LX-01? Nothing. Deck 6 was very roomy. What? Nothing. There was a squeak on section 4. What? Nothing. You could play. Now you could play with that idea. And am I reviewing Kovich or Daniels?
Kovich. He was only Daniels for the last couple seconds.
That's what I mean, right? Because that does change the character. I feel like we should go at least. I feel A is a smart play because he's so. When you get little bits, but so well done. And I forgot about the glasses. That's a great shout. He's wearing a sci-fi tie. Yeah, he's just a really He's a film director, just saying lines, not badly. Just he's living.
His delivery was always interesting.
Yeah.
I've had a unique delivery. I don't really want to be here today, but here I am.
Yeah, just unique.
Yeah. And Phoenix Gundam, I agree with you. It still puzzles me. David Cronenberg was there the whole time, and we didn't get one Trek episode directed by him. That'd be great to see.
Oh yeah. Well, part of quadrupled his paycheck though, and they were like, "Yeah, we can't afford that." That's true though. What's he actually directed? Because I know a lot. What's his name? Sorry, David Cronenberg.
Cronenberg. I think he did a Naked Lunch.
He's 81. Gosh, you look different as younger. Goodness. That is unrecognisable when you had black hair.
Yeah.
What did he direct?
A lot of shit.
Yeah. Last thing he directed was in... Oh, God. Don't do that. Last thing he directed was... That's not wrong. Try again. Oh, no, yeah, this year, 2024. 2023, 2022, 2021, yeah, and then before that, he didn't direct from 2015 to 2021. That's interesting.
Directed The Fly with Jeff Goldblum, which was great.
Directed Crash, Dead Ringers, Friday the 13th, the series, 1 episode, The Fly, The Dead Zone, 1 episode, I've seen nothing he's directed. Not a single thing. No, I've heard
of The Fly?
No, I never did. I want to.
Yeah,
but...
man.
Well, it wasn't in the house.
He acts a lot as well, but yeah, he directed 48 things. And
what do you recognise?
Let's see.
What is the Fly on 4K? Is The Fly the first time you saw Jeff Goldblum?
Maybe.
I feel like that's like not a breakout for him, but like a...
I've seen Crash. I've seen Naked Lunch. I've seen Dead Ringers. The Fly, obviously. Videodrome. Scanners. I've seen Scanners.
Heard of that.
Directed something, this TV series called Canadian Reflections. I haven't seen that, ironically. Yeah. That's about it from what I've seen of his stuff, though. Anyway. All right. Hit like, guys. We have 41 likes. I'd like to get to 50. Another 9 likes would be awesome. We have 59 votes in the polls. So, I mean, 59 people voted but didn't hit like, which is interesting. I know you might not like Discovery, but, you know, we're here talking about it. So, like us.
I mean, and look at the damn score chart. 3 S's, 3 A's, lots of B's. Not a single C or F. And the D's are both animals. So, considering this is a very strong score chart. I'm just saying, right? We're not throwing lots of shade here. These are some high scores.
Yep.
Considering. Now,
but
to Discovery, of course. But, you know, it's like, I don't know. I have no idea where Kovich would be in, like, all Trek characters. No idea where I'd place him, right? It's such a, you know, not there. Not an A. But how do you even quantify that, right?
Yeah.
Still got another half an hour, guys. Would love to get some more. I mean, any quick fire $2 ones? We'd love to throw some more in. Some really interesting ones. Yep. Throw some in. But I can suggest one, though.
Okay.
When the thing refreshes. There we go. Let's go with... let's go with Emo Spock.
Oh.
He's a very unique use case. This is Beard Spock. Now, fairness, great beard. Although, real pointy. Hella pointy. Emo Spock, accused of murder, with a video to prove it, didn't do it. He is he's the second fiddle to Burnham in almost every scene. He is less smart, less powerful, less actiony, less personal agency, and he's given his friendship with Kirk because of Burnham. So he's a very odd second fiddle Spock. But good to see him. And certainly you felt the performance in it. But he's not... I mean, it'll be so interesting now to watch it side by side with Stranger World and see he's not channeling... He's not trying to, right? Different situation. But, like, the difference is tangible. But Ethan is such an interesting fellow that I see why they cast him. And I've spoken... you saw him in Vegas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, I get it. When you meet me, I get there's a certain vibe there that he just is... But yeah, very different performance. And very story focused. So, you know, if the story goes weak in a moment, he obviously gets hit by that. If he's in a good episode, he gets better from it. Yeah. Hell of a bit.
I remember saying at the time that he does good Spock delivery, but I don't really get a Spock vibe from him. I think the beard was really throwing me. He was very quiet at first as well. And he definitely gets better.
Never closed that circuit. Just...
Oh, the circuit? Yeah. Definitely gets better, though. And I don't know where to rank him. I don't have much else to say about him, honestly.
I ran out of stuff quickly when I started talking about him. Like, I don't remember him that much from it, because he's not a major part of the season, if there he is. It's weird. I mean, I think lower than a B. I think C is my natural spot there. I mean, just saying I like science.
Well,
I know it's writing, but Spock wouldn't say that. And I guess I think contrast of how much better he is in Stranger Worlds has got to make this one look worse.
That was still the Telosians. It was their image of him that said that, not him himself.
Was it?
Yeah. Go back and rewatch it. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't.
I think C is fine, because, I was trying to think of things to say about him, and I just couldn't walk on anything, so I think that says something. It was cool that Spock was there, and it's like, oof. Bringing some legitimacy to Discovery, bringing a real character. But, anyway. Classic for real, $5. The poor woman who flies out the airlock, out the shuttle, and maybe gets recovered in second episode of season 1, right before Michael is introduced to Lorca.
Yeah, I'm Googling that, and I don't remember her for obvious reasons. But is that a lot?
F.
It's when they go through the... So it's the first scene. Oh, there she is. Although I actually threw me just before she meets Lorca. She meets Lorca like 10 minutes into the episode, and that's like 35 seconds in. So I was like, someone gets killed right before she walks into the briefing room? Huh? But no, you meant substantially before. All right, Stuart. So how do you view this random lady? Come on, slides. I believe in you.
Yeah, slides is so sluggish. God damn.
I mean, we do have
clear out some of the other ones.
We have several thousand pictures on slides because these are. Oh, everything is Oh, well, at least I can still see you, but Just gonna kill Explorer for a second because that has crashed on me.
Oh. Explorer crashed?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, let's see if this works now. Alright. Now, shocking surprise. I didn't put this lady on my list. So, you know. Shocking. Didn't go in either. Interesting. There we go. Okay. This lady! From this very contrasty shot from Star Trek Discovery. When everyone was like, ew. Burnham, ew.
Cool. F still?
I think she was dumb because she died in a dumb way. You'd like to think she got beamed up, but they certainly didn't forget. They didn't remember enough to care. You know?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
an F.
Yeah. Our first F. Congratulations, random lady. You have got our first F. Congratulations. Glory to you and your house.
She must be so proud. Somebody should tell her to tune into the live so she can talk to us about her character.
Okay. Oh, this sounds harsh. It probably took more time to do a costume fitting than did to film the performance.
Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine there being hired to be on Star Trek? Like, Star Trek, the new Star Trek, that's so great. Well, who am I playing? An officer in the first scene. That's amazing. What do? You say a line, you walk out an airlock, and then you go home.
I'd still be happy to do it.
There you go. There you go.
You can just say you're a member of Starfleet. Anyhow, all right. What is next? Benjamin Stone, £5. Are you guys doing a New Year's Eve live chat? Such a terrible time in Chester. I'm pretending to be ill again. No, we never do one because that's Sylvia's birthday, and we do Sylvia's birthday stuff that night. So no, absolutely not.
Yes. But I might be doing a live with Marie in the in-between days for various reasons. She was a great fun last time when we did ranking of uniforms, and I think we had a great time seeing a brand new perspective. And as I joked at the time, unlike everybody in the chat, no offense, I love you all, but she's actually seen these uniforms in person and acted in. You guys haven't, so she has a pretty unique perspective. You know, not the shows, but people that we know acting in them. So that was really fun. So we might do another live in between time.
Ray Ricks, £2. Stuart's favorite actress, so much fun. Detmer. This bitch.
Now this is the first version of her, which is Shinjo Detmer. Just saying.
Okay, can't say as I remember. Can't say as I remember much of that.
I want to go straight to C for Shinjo Detmer because she's not mean.
Perfect.
She's not arrogant. She's just a good officer who maybe has a line or not. Because remember, her criticalness covers the fact that she saw her captain getting betrayed by someone she, you know, and then her eye got bashed up because of Burnham, because of the situation. So she goes more cynical because Burnham. So, yeah.
Perfect.
Didn't think we were going to say that, did you? Ha! Ha! Oh.
Ray Ricks,
Oh, that's
£2.
nice.
Might as well throw in Washington. Yes. It doesn't get much to do in the show, but sweetest, most kind lady you'd ever want to meet and talk to. She's amazing. And she does, in one episode, get to go down to the planet with them.
Yeah.
And she plays a pretty important part in that whole situation. I want to give her better than Detmer. That's for sure. But I don't think she deserves B. I'm gonna throw her at C.
It's funny. I don't remember her from the first episode because she was in the Discovery first. There is no pre, so she's season 1. But I don't think she's in any of it much. Of course, she isn't. But I now remember her most from season 1, being in season 5, going back into season 1, where all her line is this. Burnham's like, "I'm Burnham," and that's all she does in the whole flashback. But it's like, ooh, that was interesting. You're a security officer. That was kind of cool. That's all I remember her for, like, in early her, before she became who we knew, and like pilot go-getter. Go for a C. That's all good.
Perfect. Not much to say about them, honestly, because they didn't get much to do.
Yeah, even season 4, her, it's like how little they did. Because normally you create characters who are specialists who go with you on away teams. But when Burnham can do everything, then there is no specialist away team people. There's just Burnham
show.
The Burnham show. So what do they do specially? They just nothing really.
They're the girlfriend on board the ship that she can talk to about things, and that's all it is. Classic for real, $5. When Admiral Chain takes over, there's a hot woman with a braid ponytail that's so hot I want EC to crush the feds. Well, the Admiral Chain to crush the feds. Doesn't matter. Last episode I saw.
I am scrolling. That's a very niche thing I'm looking for here. A lady with a ponytail that's hot.
Hot is subjective, by the way. 43 likes, guys. Hit that like button. Let's try to get up to 50 if we can. Another 20 minutes or so.
Because all I see is the Andorian guy, the medical guy, the guy from the show that you liked. I don't see anyone else who has not got a helmet on. Are you sure that's when they're on? Because I'm scrolling. I don't see any other characters except those.
Well, she would also be an F, unless she's really super hot, and she might bump up to a D.
Yeah. I don't see any other characters that are characters. Are you sure it's an Animal Chain took over? Because I'm not seeing anybody. Just seeing human Saru getting burned by radiation.
And Phoenix Gundam, yeah, it's not Borg tech that Detmer gets. It's just Starfleet medical stuff.
Implants. We're never clear how and why and when she gets hurt. As in, is her eye damaged? Yeah, how? Don't know.
And Vince just got here and said, I can't believe Grudge is in D. Well, you can bump Grudge up if you want. $5 a tier. That's how this works. So we discussed it, and enough screen time, and it's a D. So
But
I'm going to move on.
Yes, let us know if you're more specifics. I couldn't find any blonde lady in that set. In both episodes.
Classic for real, $5. Bump the damn cat up.
Oh, there you go.
P.S. I was tempted to pull a fleet paw and give $100 to bring everyone down to F tier. Gotta disagree and say it got worse. Even worse, season 3 plus. Move Grudge up to C.
Did you see season 1 though? It was real bad. It was real bad. And I've got the next 2 in the list.
Yeah, Ray Rex, £2. Lieutenant Conley, aka Lieutenant Mansplain Death Guy. Oh, this guy made me laugh.
This guy's the first genuine F. Awful portrayal, awful character, awful satire. Yeah. He wouldn't have been hired on the Enterprise. He wouldn't act this way. Nothing about him reads as real. So, yeah. I mean, just a real slap in the face. If you'd done this with other races, you'd have some problems.
Lieutenant Mansplain. Love it. Yeah, that's exactly what he was. Yeah.
And let's be honest, you could absolutely, in Lower Decks, have played guy who's an expert talking down to somebody else, or woman, you know, expert talking down to someone else about the thing and then getting killed by the thing they're talking about. That could actually be funny. It wasn't funny, it was cringe. So.
And yes, Vince, that got her implants during Burnham's mutiny.
Yeah, she got...
Well, she got the damage, and then, by the time she met Burnham again, she had the implant as a result, so...
Yep.
Yes.
Which, and it's amazing, even the future version, the damage is still there and there has been implants. That's how bad she got hurt to still need... that the future tech couldn't actually fix it perfectly. So that was some hell of a damage.
Yep. Sasagura 2005 euros. The Robot Woman. Only episode where she got any story is the one where she dies. What a waste. Well, yeah, it's actually played by two different actresses. But Arium.
And briefly, Classic Friel quantifies who was meaning about the hot lady. She's very pretty, got upset when the Mirror Universe got casually vaporized. There aren't Mirror Universe characters in the Emerald Chain episode. Can you please clarify? Because you're really confusing me here. Or did you watch a new episode of Discovery we haven't seen? Because that sounds epic. Emerald Chain and Mirror. I mean, I'd watch that, you know.
Arium.
Different
for the sake of being different. Bridge character. Don't really know. Got a name once in a while. And yes, then all of a sudden she's friends with everybody on the bridge in one episode and then she dies. Chekhov's gun. Let's introduce her friendship to everybody and then have it pay off at the end of the episode.
I mean, she was good in her... We're going to give her time in Season 5 scenes. More character in those moments than she got in the other episode. But she's so confusing. You don't have robot people in Star Trek, really. Data was an exceptional exception. He was so goddamn advanced that it took, decades to make anything else. And they had to be made by themselves, sentient, whatever. She's a very confusing character. There's no context. There's no... No, there was. No, she died and this is a robot support suit. Okay. Really? In pre-TOS? Really? Pike got a wheelchair and a bleep. She got a full exosuit.
Well, I think she's an alien race, though.
No, she was the lady. Remember they got the flashback to her and her boyfriend on the beach?
No, I don't remember that. So.
Yeah, that was how they started the episode. Like, she was a human who got messed up and then had to have a full bodysuit. Which is how we knew what the actress looked like. I know. Yeah, that's why I remember it. It's like they
D.
Yes, D. I mean, not an F, because there is some character there.
For that one episode, it was pretty good.
Yeah, except it was them flying through a minefield to Section 31, and it's like, oh, why is it a giant thing? And then I had to buy the Igamos because I was subscribed, and it's like, oh, it's great. It's a shitty little station thing. It's great.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, somebody's going to give us static over that, I'm sure. Really liked Arium in that one episode.
Sure.
Anyhow, moving on. Sasagura 2005 euros bump Saru up to A, one of the show's few good characters, and the show did him so dirty. We can't. We can only bump him up. Oh, we can bump him up to A.
So season 1 version you think was an A tier character. Fair enough.
Yeah, I forgot to do the thing. Copy.
It's okay.
Paste. Put the little arrow on him. Say he's been bumped up because he gets better. And I also got to do one for Grudge because no way we would put Grudge at C.
Yes.
Just because it's a cat. People are like, oh, it should be higher. It's like, no.
I'm not a pet person either way. Well, they say that, but my grandma and my aunt got a version of my girlfriend's dog, and it was so close that I guess the breed has similar things they like, so I was able to actually pet the dog like I pet Marie's dog, and I instantly had muscle memory of how they like it, and they were like, oh, wow, you're really good with her. I'm like, cool. Sweet. That was kind of nice.
And Vince said, oh, wait, are you ranking the bridge crew by season? Not specifically, no. If there's definite character changes in the character arc, then yes.
Yes. denoted by a very specific version. Often it's the uniform type. So of course season 1 Saru's in season 1, and you could have him in later version. But Detmer and Washcombe don't really change much. This version Detmer is the original because it was a bit different before the implant. Detmer after doesn't change much. But yeah, there's a few subcategories. Like Mirror would be a subcategory. It's like we'd both, as we did, vote Mirror Travis high, even though he's a non-talking vibe guy, but he did it so perfectly that is a high mark.
Stern Von Hulk, member for 51 months at the rank of ensign, says add Linus. He was pretty cool.
Ah, yes. Yes,
Linus was great.
Linus was great.
Can't really say he's changed. He just got more lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we learned a lot about him. I loved his delivery. He's the makeup or the CGI stuff work they did on him was really fantastic. And yeah, it definitely became one of my favorite characters from all Discovery. So wish they would have kind of leaned into writing for him earlier, but
because he's in season 1, if I recall. He's just not in season 1.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's on the turbo lift with the mutineer, when they bring Burnham on board. Or is that later in a flashback?
I don't remember. Because his big scene starts season 2.
Yeah.
But I believe it's in the season 1 trailer. No, Linus, without any embarrassment, he's probably an A.
Yeah.
Because he is every scene he's in is pleasant. He's obviously the joke in that scene, but he plays it with such fresh life. The makeup is glorious. It's an incredible visual update that both feels like the old one, but looks incredible. I mean, that is like textbook, well done. Yeah, I mean, A. Yeah. He's in so few scenes, but they're all great. Like, yeah, absolutely. He's
fantastic character.
Yeah, and you kind of felt the character, which is so rare to discover. Like, he had a character, and it's different. Yeah. It's silly, but it's true, You can stand out super well.
There you go.
Yeah.
Good tea. Nice house. $5. I'm watching and being very quiet. With nothing to say about Discovery's characters. Winky face. Prime Georgiou is an A as she was hopeful. Yes, definitely better than the other versions of Georgiou. We didn't get enough time with her, unfortunately. She seemed very nice. Seemed like a good captain. Took Burnham under her wing, as it were. Got betrayed by her. And then became food. So that's sad. I think she was a good captain while she was in the captain's seat.
The problem is that she was given one of the top 7 captains ranking by the ship's computer.
Oh, that pissed me off.
Despite not having earned it in any meaningful way, and you can't say that 1 episode in or 2 episodes in, like, she's one of the absolute best, up there with... It's like, no, you can't do that. Because honestly, she gave nothing except vanilla, decent captain. And that's fine as an episode 1, right? Start gentle. Then she got killed and eaten. There's nowhere else to go, and she's never been explored in any other way. She's never one flashback with Saru, which was okay. I mean, a vanilla, and you could tell the actress was keeping it very simple, to then give all the smarm. Like, I wouldn't say she was having fun with this role. She was kind of doing it as gentle as possible.
Where do you want to put her?
My gut says C because it's just very vanilla. Like, didn't do much, but I wouldn't complain. Just didn't add the charm. But I would honestly like to say a flashback with her doing something meaningful. Could be interesting, especially when she's so used to being Queen Bitch Whore of the Universe, or whatever they call other Georgiou.
I'm gonna call it now. Ray Rix's £2 one is the last one.
Yep.
So wrapping up here. We got 2 Ray Rix ones to do, so thank you, Ray. £5. The only person probably in Starfleet history to ignite a war, mutiny, go to prison, and become Starfleet captain. Mm-hmm. Space uses Michael Burnham. Fuck's sakes. But you did the character arc again. Please stop that, everyone.
So season 1, Michael Burnham.
Fucking awful.
Nice hair though.
Sure. So full of herself. Can do everything, anything. Her way's the right way, the only way. Kind of gets put in her place for a half second when she gets mutinied, or when she gets court-martialed, I mean, but doesn't really last that long. And
Do you remember that sketch trial where everyone's in silhouette and it's like an evil, dodgy war trial? It's like, what was this, sorry?
there's a lot and not a lot to say about Burnham. Labeled a Mary Sue by everyone online. Because the show revolved around her, unfortunately. Yes, we find out later, like the character goes through a great story arc and great progression and becomes a much better character. But season 1 is just not good. I'm sorry. Trying to think of specifics. Did she cry a lot during season 1?
No, she was always punching and fighting angry.
She was the Vulcan, yeah.
So
Jump in, please. Save my ass.
What's fun about this Burnham is that the show itself told us how bad she was. In season 5, we have an excellent episode where her and Rayna, from the present, go back into the past. And the villain of the episode is young Burnham. Yeah. Literally, the main antagonist they fight.
That's true.
And she is so the same and so unlikable, and they're trying to push her that way to show how good the current Burnham is. And it is wonderful because it's like, yes, everyone was right. Maybe not, don't be so mean about it, but like, they show you how bad she was because it shows the growth, right? So even the show admits she was terribly handled. Now, yes, she's a weird character in that her parents get killed / time suit, adopted by a Vulcan who's a bit of a whatever, and then forced to do these different things and shoved off to Shinjo, which is a terrible ship in the grand scheme. Stays there for like 10 years. She is smart, but she's some reason has born Vulcan arrogance, so she's smart, but she's better than everyone in the crew. And we never really got in the episode, 2 episodes that we got, she never really works with the crew. She just overdoes them. Like, I can't imagine she's well liked by the crew if that's how she acts around them. Like, she might be the lady who doesn't need friends, so she's happy to go to her quarters and drink tea and play Calto, and the rest of the crew's off partying because she's like, I don't need them. Like, she's that sort of like, I am the whole thing. Go later, she's much better. So it's a very interesting ride, but it wouldn't be hard to make her better. And ironically, just be more like Sonequa. That's the gentle irony. She's more like Sonequa as the season goes on. She gets better. Because when she's not, yeah, it's very strange. Oh, this is fun.
All right, so ranking-wise, though.
Oh, there's a new button, Stuart. At the top it says goal. Make Super Chat more fun with a goal with a big arrow. Set a goal to engage with the audience in a new way. Once you reach your goal, celebrate with the community. Pick a goal, 10 Super Chats or other. Choose a Super Chat colour, set a timer. Huh.
I don't see this button, so I don't know what you're talking about.
It's right at the top above the... I don't know if it just appeared. Let me send you a picture.
Where do you want to place her? Because we got 2 minutes.
I'm going to go D because of the time loop episode where she is better. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's honestly it, right? She has loads of bad, but yeah. But I think we had this with Elm. The scale, it just goes up and up and up. Every season, pretty much. 3, 4, and 5, just up and up and up. So that's entirely the show. All right, next.
Next up is the last one. Ray Ricks, 2 pounds. Also Captain Rainier before you finish. Oh my god.
I mean,
a lot to talk about with him.
At least an A.
Easily an A, yes.
At least an A. Let's go from there.
Yeah, fantastic. A captain who lost his captaincy, became a commander under Burnham, and was a good sage, mentor, definitely well seasoned, definitely knew his stuff. Didn't quite trust the crew at first, but learned to appreciate them and use their strengths to his advantage. So he he also had a good character arc in one season.
Yes, he did.
And really well portrayed. Good acting, good writing.
Mm-hmm.
Top notch character. That's when Discovery was like, all right, we know how to write people now. Took us 5 seasons, but we got there. Yeah, we really want to see more of him. Too bad it was the last season that he was introduced in. So,
yeah, he's a really good testament to good writing with a strong character journey, who even though in the middle he gets sort of ignored, the fact that he's given such a strong start and end means you feel satisfied. That is, if everyone had been given that, you'd be like, cool. And it was a hard start. You're meant to sort of not like him in the first episode, but you get it, and then yeah, it's very interesting. Great performance, and kind of Lorcaian if Lorca was less dickish.
Yeah, it's more like Prime Lorca. How would I picture Prime Lorca to be?
I think we've had that debate before. It's like sanding that 20% hard edge without the I'll stab you arc, but they are very similar in a lot of their traits. Just not done better because they're different people. But like if this had been Lorca, it would have worked better. But it couldn't have been Lorca, so it's irrelevant. But like I say, Prime Lorca would have been great. And yeah, and there's a few things he does that are weird. His use of the crew is odd and hard to justify, but also, he might have had his crew for 10 years. He knows them all very well. He's only been used to dealing with professionals who can shorthand, and going from a decade as Picard says, I nodded to Worf and he knew to put a force field up. To go from that to this antiquated crew from 900 years ago that don't even know our tech properly, that I have to explain. I mean, you get it, right? He's not at fault here. He just has some adjustment, and he does, and he gets there. Good for him. Yeah, I mean, I think still an A. I'm open to an S, but I think an A. What do you think? Where are you vibing?
Yeah, I think A is fair. I mean, I probably would make an argument for S.
No, make him S. I think he beats everyone in S and everyone in A. I think for a successful journey. Yeah.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, I think he gets S. Yeah, John, indeed.
All right, I'm back. Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Because as far as Discovery characters, very well thought out from the beginning, well written, well executed.
Yeah.
Yeah. S tier. There you go.
Yeah. Because he's a real character with a real arc and real dialogue, and
Shame we didn't see more of him.
But we saw enough. And he might come back in the academy. He'd be a weird place, of course, but why wouldn't you hire him?
Let's finish off this poll with 72 votes. Overall, who are the best Disco characters? Winner of Season 1, Lorca's Crew War Vibes, 40%. Wow.
Which was not how it was for all the time. That gradually got up. Wow. Yeah.
And then second place is the 32nd Century characters.
Yeah.
Third place, Discovery Crew Season 2 to 5. And the villains get 7%.
Oh, wow. I thought villains are not bad. Two of them are big exception. Wow, that's a really interesting poll. Wow. Very cool. Okay. So, guys, join us tomorrow, if I recall, for the ship version of this. Characters definitely interesting. I like looking at some random ones. The ships, of course, pretty varied. Design aesthetic is what we go on. We've got both the future and the present ships. Cool. Should be a fun time to join us in for tomorrow, same time, for ranking Discovery ships.
Yes, please join us. So until then, he is Commander Cockings.
And he is the tremendous Captain Foley.
Tremendous even. S tier, you could say.
You could say.
Until tomorrow, guys.